One of the areas that I spend a lot of time representing folks on are dog bite cases. Typically, dog bites, and it isn't just dog bites. I can represent folks on all sorts of other kinds of animal bites or attacks, but typically it's dog bites. And typically these happen during summer. Folks are out, they're strolling around, other folks are walking their dogs. Young kids see the dogs, they're attracted to them, walk over, want to pet the dog, and the kid gets bit. Dog bites are a little different than a car wreck, and I'm not trying to be obvious here because one involves vehicles and one involves an animal, but in a car wreck, it's a negligence case. So there are lots of defenses. The person who's driving the car that hit you can say, well, you pulled out in front of me, or you should have seen me, or you were going too fast, or you're going too slow. There's a whole variety of defenses that somebody can raise in a car wreck. In an animal attack, in a dog bite, there are very few defenses. It's called a strict liability injury. So unless you were teasing the dog, tormenting the dog, or trespassing on somebody's property, in most cases, the dog owner and therefore the dog owner's insurance company are on the hook for whatever injuries you have. Again, a lot of folks don't realize that, and so dog owners will say, well, he looked at my dog mean, or he did this, or most of those defenses are useless and pointless and don't apply to this case. One of the big things about dog bites is to photograph the area of the bite as early as possible. Most folks, thankfully, the bites will heal over time and there's very little scarring. So it's important to document visually as soon as you can what the bite was. It's also important to contact an attorney as early as possible, since it's questionable, especially in a lot of cases, whether or not there's actually insurance that covers the dog, and what you don't want to do is incur quite a few bills and then not be sure if they're even going to be covered. Not saying that you shouldn't get treatment, but a lot of folks, if they know their bills aren't going to be paid, will at least get the minimal amount of treatment because they don't want to be victimized twice, once by the dog bite and then once by having huge medical bills that aren't going to be paid. So again, I spend a lot of time with folks. I represent a lot of folks who have been bitten by dogs. It's a very interesting area of the law because of the way people view dogs. Somebody hits you with their car. Usually it's not a personal issue. Somebody just wasn't paying attention. But when somebody's dog bites you, it's almost like having their own child bite you, and people tend to get very personal. They tend to get very aggravated and angry and upset. Even though you were the one that was bitten, people try to circle the wagons because they're afraid that they're going to lose their dog. So an interesting area of the law. Please give me a call if you've been bitten by a dog. I'd be happy to discuss it with you.